Good evening, everyone watching this broadcast. It's a Saturday evening, November 10th. Beautiful day today. I spent out in the yard doing yard work. Fall time is the best time to do yard work because it's cool outside and the sun is bright and the air is clean and crisp. So hopefully you had a good day today wherever you are. I am going to talk a little bit today about the American Priority Conference. I'm Alex Phillips. I'm the conference host, and I want to just bring everybody up to date on a few things that's going on with the American Priority Conference. One of the things that people ask is how we got started with this group, how we got started with this idea of this conference. And it kind of came out of the MAGA meetups in D.C. I'm in the Virginia area, and so I can go up to D.C. pretty easily. Spent a lot of time up there over the past 6 years doing advocacy work for small businesses in the wireless internet broadband industry. And so I got a lot of connections, I got a lot of experience in doing stuff up in D.C., and so I got involved with the MAGA meetups and met some great people. And kind of went from there. The evolution of MAGA meetups has changed a lot over the years, and basically the idea of having a conference came from my experiences at my other industry organization, where we had a conference twice a year for our members. And the idea behind the conference was to educate them on industry issues that affect their businesses, but also to train them to be better at what they do so that their industry would grow. And so the idea was to have a conference for the Make America Great Again movement, the conservative movement, and for folks that are libertarian, center-right, but also an opportunity for folks to have an open dialogue on issues that maybe we can't talk about on Twitter for some reason, but to have face-to-face conversations. And so we've got folks coming to this conference that are, not necessarily from the Republican Party. That we've got some folks that you might want to call them walkaways. We've got libertarians. We've got Republicans. We've got independents. But we have a lot of people that are going to be coming to this conference that want to, have open discussions about issues. We were originally scheduled to have this in September. And as you are aware, we did change it to December, and the reason we had some difficulties. It seems like there's people out there that don't want us to have this conference. They don't want the Make America Great Again movement to flourish and grow. So we had some issues, but we're back on track for December 6th through the 8th. This organization is self-funded. We are not funded by any PAC or GOP or any large corporations. We have volunteers that are spending a lot of hours to try to make sure this is a great conference. And we're focused on the grassroots. A lot of times you hear people say the Democrats seem to have that grassroots efforts nailed, and the Republicans don't. And in some cases, they're probably very right about that. So we're going to be focusing on the grassroots, but also specifically in citizen journalism, because that's where a lot of this grassroots stuff is making a big difference. We have citizen journalists out there basically helping educate and bringing the real news to people. Everybody does a lot better. So I've got the website here up, and I'm going to kind of go to the agenda and just kind of briefly go over a couple of things that we're talking about doing at this conference. So we've got, we're going to have an actual agenda up approximately 10 days before the conference. We're still slotting people. We're still bringing on some new speakers. A lot of new people have asked to be part of this event, so getting a lot of positive feedback. But we're going to try to focus on what issues are. So the American Priority Conference is, obviously, there are a lot of priorities, and so we're singular in this statement of our conference, because there seems to be an understanding that if you can get 10 things done or fixed or accomplished, that will enable another 100 things to be done, or another 1,000 things after that. You have to kind of figure out what is the first thing. What is the priority? And for a lot of people, their priorities are different. So we're going to ask people what their priority is, what they think is the most important thing. And so we're going to be talking about a lot of topics that have bearing on our nation and our citizens and the people that work and live and play in the United States. One of the topics we're going to have is vets on the national security. So we're going to have some veterans from the military, armed forces, talk about their perspective of national security. We're going to talk about social justice in the comics and movie industry. We're going to have folks from an organization in Washington, D.C. who used to be homeless and have gotten out of it. They're going to talk about their experiences. But obviously, homeless in America is a very important topic to discuss. Some of our speakers are first responders, so we're going to hear from them about what's going on in that world. The real threat to America, what we should know about what China is doing. Going to have some experts there talking about the military, economic, and cyber threats that China represents to our country. Broadband in America. Now, that's my forte, is broadband. That's where I come from. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And I pulled together some speakers that you probably haven't heard of, but are actually responsible for making sure that things happen in D.C. that can benefit people in this country when it comes to broadband. Broadband is becoming the staple for everything that we do, whether you're in business, whether you're in agriculture, whether you're a student, whether you want to start a home business, or whether you want to work from home remotely. Internet has become integral, and it's a hot topic, so we want to talk about it. Another topic that's close to me, the Internet Bill of Rights. This is not something that's happening now. It's just something that's being discussed, but this is probably one of the most important topics of our century, and I'm talking about the one we're in now, not the last one. This century is going to be about how do we protect our rights in this new world on the internet. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to have some experts on the Constitution. I'm going to have some experts on internet policy and some other folks, and we're going to talk about how this could work. What are some of the issues that we have to deal with? Because the Internet Bill of Rights is something that's going to help protect us. Internet censorship has been discussed ad nauseum on the internet, on Twitter. Conservatives being censored from being able to talk about it. So free speech is obviously an issue, but the Internet Bill of Rights should address that. But there's also other things that we have to contend with that are coming up, and these are issues that don't have to do necessarily with censorship, but have to do with how corporations can track us on the internet, what type of information is available, how can we protect our privacy, all kinds of stuff that really need to be addressed in an Internet Bill of Rights. We're planning on having an expert on cryptocurrency to kind of decrypt the crypto. We've got an expert on healthcare in America. It's going to talk about that. We've got a couple of experts on the Second Amendment. Obviously an important thing for a lot of folks. And then our highlight is going to be on the new media and citizen journalism. So we're going to have a panel of citizen journalisms led by a moderator to kind of go over what's going on there and get some of their backgrounds on what's going on in citizen journalism. We're also going to have some breakouts on Saturday about that to try to help tune up your game. How can you amp up what you're doing today? How can you be a better citizen journalist? What tools are available? What tricks to the trade are out there to learn from some of the experienced people? U.S. immigration policy, big issue today, and we're going to have an expert to talk about that from a non-emotional perspective. Emotion gets into these things and we start making bad decisions. Obviously, we don't want to be unsympathetic to people, but we need to also look at the facts. We're going to have some people talking about the economy, what's going on. I mean, we hear it's good. Why is it good? We have an expert on terrorism, so we're going to get the real deal on what do we need to know about what's going on in our world when it comes to terrorism. Violence in politics. That's a topic that seems to be discussed on the left one way and on the right another way. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to have some people there. Hopefully we're going to have somebody from the Heather Heyer Foundation. Could be difficult to get them there because they're in the middle of a court case with regard to what was going on in Charlottesville. Very sympathetic to that situation. We've got a fellow that's going to be talking about the government-sanctioned identity theft, something you need to know about. So this is a story that came to my forefront while I was talking to a friend of mine who was working on something totally different. And if you spend some time on the internet and you can start putting the pieces together, you find out that this isn't really a new story. It's just nobody's really talking about it in the context that it really is. We're also going to do a little bit of a focus on censorship and social media. So a lot of folks make their money on YouTube, doing broadcasts, and demonetization is a real big problem. So what do people do when that happens to recover and continue doing your business? We're also going to have a speaker that we've announced that's going to talk about what's going on with Spygate, and he's going to be interviewed by Jack Posobiec of One American News. A couple of breakout sessions we're going to have on Saturday. We're going to be basically focusing on citizen journalism, and also give folks that come to the conference to get a little bit one-on-one with some citizen journalists on some of their more interesting cases that they're working on. Matt Couch, Laura Loomer specifically, and maybe some others. Tom Chatelet is going to be doing a class on the left can meme, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. So basically, we've got a pretty good list of speakers, and we've got some new ones coming. I'm just going to kind of just scroll through this. I'm going to say that it's the people that you know, people you think you know, and people you've never heard of. So the good part is the people that you never heard of are going to teach you some stuff that you've never heard. So you're going to learn something new. The people that you've seen and know, you're going to learn some stuff from them as well that you may not have known. So we're going to have people from all walks of life. We're going to have people from the press, people from ex-military, ex-CIA, counterintelligence, authors, activists. Leslie Milwee is going to be there to talk about her experiences as one of the most recent women to come forward about the sexual assault she encountered from President Clinton at the time he was governor. People that have been censored, activists, folks that, let's look at that. Is that George Papadopoulos? Oh my God, is George Papadopoulos coming to the conference? I think you want to come to the conference to hear what he has to say, because he's got some stuff to say that you probably haven't heard. Folks that are out from California, Genevieve Peters, fighting the good fight on sanctuary cities. Magdalene Rose, an impressive young conservative. Jane Ruby, you probably know her from America First DC and MAGA Meetups. She is an author of a book called The New Media, and she's going to be moderating the panel on citizen journalism. Dan Schultz, grassroots activist. Here's a fellow that nobody knows. You're going to have to Google him. Joel Salatin. He's a farmer. Oh my God, there's going to be a farmer at the American Priority Conference. Why do I have a farmer at the American Priority Conference? Are we going to be learning about farming? No, we're going to be learning about common sense, coming from a common sense perspective. Joel Salatin is famous for his common sense speeches, and he's going to talk about some things. I have used some quotes from Joel in my efforts in DC, and the famous one I use when I go talk to Congress and to the Federal Communications Commission when they talk about spending money on things is that if people wouldn't mind paying more for steak, everybody could have a job. Well, think about that one for a minute. And there's Tom Chatelet. Brett Smith is in the comics industry. He and his partner Timothy Lim are going to be doing a new comic called Trump Space Force. Keep an eye out for it. Gretchen Smith, oh my God, don't you know Gretchen Smith? Code of Vets. She's going to be talking about or moderating a panel on the U.S. Veterans on National Security. So definitely want to see. Pete Hegseth is one of our vets, by the way. Jason Beardsley, another veteran. Sorry, I went right past him. Oh my God, is that Mike Cernovich? Is he going to be there? You better come. He's going to be there. Matt Couch, I said about him. Carrie Baxter Donovan. grassroots. This person is going to teach us, this lady is going to teach us about, teach you about grassroots organizing and how to get going. We're talking about the 2020 elections. We're getting ready for them now. We're going to be ramping up for that, and we need to get people mobilized. Cynthia Dunbar, constitutional attorney. She is our expert on the United States Constitution. She is going to answer questions about the Constitution in a couple of different panels. So anyhow, take a look at the website and see what we've got. We're adding more speakers every day that we come in, and we've got some speakers that we haven't announced yet that are going to be very exciting. So if you haven't made your plans to come to the American Priority Conference, you better start thinking about it now before ticket and registration closes. So the next thing I want to talk about is we have been graced by some of the left's greatest media outlets to be hit by a hit piece. So in honor of Steve Bannon, I'm going to wear those as a badge of honor and talk to you a little bit about them. So this is the first one. The Observer wrote a hit piece. They actually talked to Tom Chatelet, and we were very nervous about this. We were like, what are they going to do? You know, and this turned out to be a great article. So here it is. The Observer wrote an article, How the Right Still Dominates Political Meme Warfare and Why the Dems Should Worry. This is a great article. This particular article went viral on Twitter for a while. Scott Adams retweeted it, and it really got us excited about doing the meme contest. And so as a result of this, we have a Twitter meme contest. So you can check that out at americanpriority.com/theleft-can't-meme. The Left Can't Meme. This is a great opportunity if you are a meme magician, memetic engineer, memetic warfare, memetic warrior, whatever you want to call yourself. Go to this website, read the contest. You got today and tomorrow left. It's till 11/11. You got till the 11th to get your submission in, and you could win $500 or VIP ticket and hotel accommodations at the conference. So definitely check that out. This is something that if you're interested in getting a little bit more famous because you're a meme master, take advantage of this opportunity right away. Don't waste. The here's a meme. If you want to know what a meme is, just in case, you know, this is funny. That's one meme, and I think I have another one here queued up to show everybody. If I can find it. There it is. Boom. I'm not saying the left can't meme, but the left can't meme. Yes, of course. All right, so the next hit piece was actually pretty typical of the media. Right Wing Watch. So I'm going to start off by saying this guy is one of the reasons why the media is not trusted. Nobody does research. Nobody asks the right questions. Nobody tries to find out who to get answers from. They just click, Google, whatever, and click and paste and write trash. And of course, this one was actually meant to hurt the conference. This was designed to cause division, dissension. Fortunately, mostly only the left reads this. However, it did seem to make its way into the test. But just to kind of go over a couple of things, you know, basically they were trying to hit a couple of our bigger high-profile speakers to make them feel uncomfortable. That didn't work. But just for a couple of examples of how this is a failure. So we're not an alternative to CPAC, okay? I want to get that point across right now. CPAC is a great conference, okay? A lot of people go to CPAC every year. A lot of people will continue to go to CPAC every year. CPAC is going to do great work from now on until the end of time. You know, the CPAC is what it is. We're not trying to be an alternative to CPAC. We are trying to fill a niche that other conferences such as CPAC are not necessarily filling. It's not possible for one conference to be all things to all people. And so we're not trying to be all things to all people. We're focused on grassroots and citizen journalism. We're focusing on free speech and those components that are associated with citizen journalism and the industry around it. So, this statement here, not true, not true. They tried to make an issue of Q stuff, whatever, blah blah blah. But this is funny. Let's go down to this story. The conference is also featured presenters who have been interacted with figures within the white supremacist alt-right movement. Okay, so in their first person that they list, R.C. Maxwell. I don't even think they looked up who R.C. Maxwell was, because let's click on the link and oops, R.C. Maxwell, white supremacist. Let's see what R.C. Maxwell says about his white supremacy. Not loading. Wow. I tell you what, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to look up, and I don't use Google, by the way. You can see I use DuckDuckGo because, well, you know why. There's R.C. Maxwell, the white supremacist. Oh my God. You can just tell by looking at this guy that he's a white supremacist. I mean, come on. It's written all over his face that he's a white supremacist. Come on. Try looking something up. Try calling people up, people at Right Wing Watch, instead of just focusing on trying to hurt people and hit people. Making fun of the Numbers USA deputy director. These people are focused on statistical analysis. They are taking the emotion out of immigration, and we need to think about that. But this is funny. So they go into some of our sponsors, and we've got a couple of conference sponsors that they're not really paying us any money. It's sort of an in-kind thing because this is our first year, and we're trying to prove ourselves just as much as anything else. But, this story here basically insinuates that we're sponsored by an Amway distributor who is the late father-in-law of the current Secretary of Education, Betsy DeVos. And so essentially when this got out into the Twitterverse, the conspiracy theorists got a hold of this, and all of a sudden it all made sense. Okay, Betsy DeVos is funding our organization through her Amway money to perpetuate some deep state agenda and whatever. I don't know. This is crazy. But thank you, Right Wing Watch, for doing a completely exemplary job of your industry. You guys have proven the fact that the media in our industry is failing us, and citizen journalism is probably the most important thing since penicillin. Okay? Citizen journalism is the penicillin to the problem and virus known as the mainstream media. So thank you again, Right Wing Watch, for doing such a horrible job at your job and giving me an excellent example of a hit piece that I can use to wear as a badge of honor, as Steve Bannon would say. So back to the conference. So here's something exciting that you may not know. Of course, you saw Mike Cernovich is coming to the conference. The reason why Mike is coming to the conference is because Jane Ruby is one of the associate producers, and so am I. And Jane Ruby has agreed to be to basically help me at the conference show the DC premiere of the movie Hoaxed. Okay, so this movie here is a movie Mike Cernovich produced. I've seen it. I went to the Hollywood premiere. I've kind of worked. I paid attention. I was part of, as an associate producer like Jane. I was part of it from the beginning. I saw the evolution of the movie. I saw the movie in Hollywood. It was an excellent event that Mike put on for the producers and some of his friends and other people that came. This movie is a must-see, okay? If you can get to this conference this December, you need to see this. You need to come to this movie, because not only will you come to this movie and see stuff and learn stuff about the fake news media that you didn't know, you'll get to meet Mike, some of the directors potentially, and you'll get to have some interactions that you won't get from watching this on the BoobTube. So this is I've seen this movie so many times because, you know, like I said, I've seen it over the evolution, and so you know, even though I saw it once, when I saw it in LA, it was almost like I was watching it for the first time again, because it is such a good movie. It is such a well scripted movie. It is such a well produced movie. The sound, the flow, the visuals, the content, everything about this movie breaks all the preconceived notions you have for a documentary. So I don't know what else I can say. I'm not illustrating it very well, I don't think, because I don't have the words to say. But this was a great movie, and you need to come and see it, because if you don't see it in DC at this conference, you're not going to really get the perspective you need. You can see it. It'll be on video demand later, but this is the way you need to see it. So I'm going to show a quick trailer.
I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again. So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
How do we explain how this is possible?
How did this happen?
Since Election Day, questions have been raised about the role that false news stories distributed online played in the final result.
There's been a lot of talk lately about
Fake news.
Fake news.
Hoax sites and hyper-partisan blogs.
A threat to democracy.
All media is narrative, and we are in a war of narratives.
I think it's interesting to have someone like Mike doing a documentary about fake news, because it's owning a term that has been directed at him.
Until it happens to you, you can't really understand how powerful the fake news is.
People who have been printed in the media a lot can start to identify who's fake news.
I've been lied about repeatedly. My friends have been lied about.
Because they know their true story more than anyone.
I don't have to frame them. I just have to talk about what they've done.
We are told by the media what the world is. We are told what is right, what is wrong, what to believe, who to love, who to hate.
I think that the media will gin up controversy to create an environment of discontent.
There are people on both sides who just want us to go to war.
Congressman Steve Scalise has been shot.
The suspect was upset over the election of President Trump.
Falsehoods have consequences. That's what makes them false.
Like, that's unbelievable. I don't understand why I haven't heard of this.
In a way, the media is designed not to inform you, but to keep you uninformed.
I have over 4,000 friends on Facebook. I've never seen that story public.
So as soon as they introduced the idea that news could be fake, it was turned against them almost immediately. And now we're in a war with them to determine who's the real fake news.
I am a
forgot to turn my mic on. Okay, so I will start over where I left, where I meant to start off. Thank you, Tom, for the mic check. So I'm going to tell you something about the movie, and this is not really a spoiler. So basically, when I saw this first cut, the most, it was like almost finished, and I saw where he started the dialogue, started the movie, the content. I said to myself, hey, I can't believe you're going there. I can't believe that you're actually starting here with this movie. Because I thought this is not a good place. This is not a good place to start the movie for me. Can everybody hear me okay now? I got my mic back on. Oh, I turned the wrong thing on. There we go. How about that? That's better. Oh, sorry. I spent 2 weeks trying to learn this video broadcasting software because this isn't really my forte, and sometimes I make mistakes. So you can hear me now, right? Yes? Okay. So the first run of the movie that I saw, I wasn't sure, and this is not really a spoiler, but this is just to kind of give you an idea of how great this movie is. Mike started this movie in a place that I would have, if you'd have asked me my input, I would have said to not go there. Mike Cernovich is the producer of the movie Hoaxed. So anyhow, I put it in baseball terms because I like baseball. So at the beginning of this movie, so Mike basically went someplace in this movie that I wouldn't have gone. It was an outside, high and outside, right? And you're thinking, don't swing for that one. Don't swing for that one. You're gonna miss. It's gonna be foul ball. It's gonna be a pop fly. It's gonna be out. And he nailed it. He and his producers, where they start this movie out, where I was like, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. I can't believe he did that. He swung for that one, and he put that one over the center field fence. Okay? Everybody was on base. It was a grand slam. So I'm just saying this because, when I can watch this movie over and over again, and I still get those jitters, those emotional adrenaline, whatever you want to call it, that feeling of euphoria coming over me when I see this movie when he starts it. So anyhow, I'm kind of going on and on about this movie because I'm just so excited about it, and I'm glad that Dr. Jane Ruby, and Mike are going to have the DC premiere at the American Priority Conference. So definitely you want to check it out. Go to AmericanPriority.com for information about registration. We've got excellent rates on hotels, and the venue is wonderful. So let me talk about the venue a little bit, because people ask, because at these events, political violence is a real problem. People are concerned about political violence. I've been to several events where people have been injured. I went to the Deplorable and I saw blood. Oh my God! I went to a ball to celebrate the election of President Trump, and people were beating up other people. What the heck? So anyhow, this hotel, the Wardman Park Marriott, is where CPAC used to be. They are very familiar with security, but moreover, the hotel itself is situated in the center of the property. So they literally could have protesters on every corner, on every square inch of every sidewalk, and they would be nowhere near the hotel. Plus, they have to have a permit, otherwise they're gone. And finally, it's in a residential neighborhood. So let's just say they have a permit, they can't block anybody, and they can't be very loud because they will be run off like bums. So this is an excellent venue. It's a historic building, and it's got photographs of journalists, so it's kind of got that theme going on as well. Food is great. That was the first thing that I figured out. Jane Ruby and I went there for our first meeting. She came with me, and they gave us a spread or an example of the type of food that they have for the conference, options and stuff, and it was just, oh my God, you know. Usually hotel food is terrible, but not here. So, excellent venue, a lot of history there, a lot of good space for the movie and for sessions and for speakers. I just think that this is going to be a great conference, and this is something that we're planning to do every year. So don't miss this one, because if you missed the first one, then you can't say you came to the first one when you're here at the 10th one. The first one is always the best one in a way, because it's so new and we're kind of still developing things. So I'm going to tell, right off the bat, I'm going to say this. So this conference, we're going to make mistakes. There's going to be problems that we didn't foresee. We're trying the best we can. We've got a great volunteer group that is working with us, that have a lot of experience. I come from industry conference experience, so I kind of know about what to expect. But I've found out a lot of things that have gone on in the preparation of this conference that I didn't expect, and it's because of the type of the medium, so to speak. We're in a political world, and let me tell you this: I hate politics. I hate politics with a vengeance. I would be so happy if politics became extinct, because what we need is people that want to work in government, people that want to represent the people, and people that want to do the right thing, not for their sake, but for the sake of their constituent. And so politics means things happen not for their constituency. They're give and takes. They're, I'll do this if you do that. I'll scratch your back, you scratch my back. That's where corruption is born. So definitely hate politics. So anyhow, we're going to work this conference. We're going to make this a great conference. I'm not going to say the cliche, making conferences great again, because that would be bad. Oh my God, I just said it. Anyhow, roll that one back in your mind, erase it. I didn't say that, but it's going to be a great conference. So anyhow, I am done with what I wanted to talk about today. AmericanPriority.com. Definitely you want to check it out. We've coming down to the line here, so if you want to go this year and you want to go see Hoaxed, you better go and sign up right now. The schedule, yes, the speaker schedule will be up 10 days at the very latest before the conference. 10 days before the conference. I'm just looking at some of the messages coming up on Periscope. Usually I don't see the messages, but I have my phone up with the Periscope so I can see them. So 10 days before the conference, we will have the actual agenda, where the speakers are slotted, panels, breakouts. Because we still, like I said, we still got stuff coming in. We're getting calls now from people. Hey, I want to speak at your conference, and these aren't just mom and pop, yada yada yada, whoever people. These are some high level people that are interested in being part of this event. So you definitely want to come. Yeah, definitely want to come and be part of this inaugural event, because when it comes down to it, this conference is not about me, and it's not about the volunteers. It's not even really about President Trump. It's about you. It's about you people, the people of this country that want to take back control of our government, take back control of what it means to be an American citizen. And so we need you to come to this event. We need you to give us your feedback. We need you to tell us, hey, Alex, so this was great, but next time can you do and fill in the blank? Or can you bring and fill in the blank? Or can you have for us something that's related to and fill in the blank? So, I'm not going to make this conference a good conference. You are going to make this a good conference, because some of the best stuff that happens at these conferences, in my experience, is not because of the speaker and not because of the panel, but because of the offline discussions, the fellowship. You're going to meet new people from across the country. You're going to make long-lasting friendships. People are going to come from areas of the country where they feel alone as Trump supporters, and they're going to find out that they've got a whole family waiting for them to be part of their family. So definitely want to see you all there, December 6th through the 8th. Get your tickets for Hoaxed as well. All the information is at AmericanPriority.com. And there's also a link there to register for the hotel at the Marriott. The hotel is on the Red Line, by the way, so if you're flying in BWI or Reagan International, you could take the Red Line directly to the hotel within walking distance. I mean, it's literally right there at the entrance. So save yourself some trouble and take the Red Line. If you fly into Dulles, which is does not have its subway system finished, there is a bus, a Silver Line bus that takes you to the Silver Line, and then you can take the Silver Line to the Red Line and then back to. So either any three of those options are good, depending on what's most convenient to you as far as cost or whatever, where you normally fly, what airline you fly. So, but the hotel is definitely on the Red Line. Lots of places to go in walking distance. It's a cute neighborhood. It's a beautiful little residential neighborhood. It's a little tchotchke places, little cute restaurants, good food, and stuff that you can do. If you want to go into DC, you can also take the metro to just about any place in the district. But we're going to have a lot of fun there. So one of the things that we're going to do on Friday night is going to have live music. So we're going to have a book signing on Friday, and you're going to get a chance to buy some books and get them signed by the authors. We're going to have a little bit of a social. We're going to kind of class it up a little bit with a pianist, and then we're going to take it right into a live music party event where we're going to have some good old American rock and roll, people dancing, people having a great time, and close out Friday night, and then start up the next morning, not too early, of course. God, I hate those early morning sessions the day after you're having a lot of fun. So we're going to be very sympathetic to those people, let you sleep in a little bit on Saturday, and then go right into some good grassroots educating. So anyhow, I think that I've covered everything that I wanted to cover. If you've got questions, you can hit us up on Twitter at PriorityConf, Facebook at Priority Conference, or American Priority Conference on Facebook. You can also go to AmericanPriority.com, and we have a contact page if you have any questions about something that we don't have answers for you on the page itself. So don't forget about the meme contest, AmericanPriority.com/TheLeftCan'tMeme, if you want to get famous and win a free ticket to the show. So, all right, everybody, thank you so much for your time. Share this on your social media and invite your friends if you're coming. Make it a big celebration. This is going to be the regular thing we're going to do every year, and you're going to be part of it. You're going to make this conference what it is, so please be part of it and give us your input so that we can make our movement grow. No, PriorityConference.com is an old domain, but I would use AmericanPriority.com just to be safe. Yes. Yes, thanks, Tom. I think we do have Priority Conference pointed to it, so we're not really pushing that particular website name. So, okay, thanks everybody, and have a good evening, and I will talk to you next time.